All right. Welcome everybody back to my podcast. It does not have a name, but I get to interview brilliant people in the real estate industry. And today I have Brad Carroll. I'm going to call him the mad scientist of DakLab because I feel like a mad scientist when I step into it. And how fun is it that we get to play off of DakLab, and it is the spooky season, so we're going to go with that. But Brad, he is actually the CEO and founder of Dakno Marketing. So all those agents out there who are looking for a marketer, please feel free to go over and look at Dakno. And outside of that, I was just reading a little bit on your bio on your website, and I loved how you're like, listen, this is not about me. This is just about how we can get you going and created. So with all of that being said, Brad, welcome to this creation that I've got going. I'm so grateful our paths met with Star Power. And why don't you give us just a little bit of background about you, how you got Dakno started, and then how that led into DakLab?
Yeah. So first of all, thanks for allowing me to be here. I've loved what you're doing as far as really pushing the envelope of exploring a lot of different AI tools. And so I think we're definitely in the same boat from that standpoint. So I founded Dakno, I actually bought the domain in the year 2000. So been doing this a little while, and it was probably for the first few years focused a little bit on all industries, and then about 2005 really started to focus within real estate. And it's kind of interesting how that all got started. One of my first real estate clients, Linda Kraft, who 20 some years later, she's still a client. She invited me to a 3-day conference, and she invited me as her guest, and I really didn't have that much background in real estate, but at the time, this was all about virtual assistants and how you can leverage this upcoming internet, thing to really catapult your business. And day one ends, and we had homework. And so one of the agents who was sitting across from me, she was not tech savvy, and the homework was to go find a virtual assistant to update a logo or something. And she was a little bit frustrated. She goes, I'm not going to be able to do this. And I had an idea. I said, you are going to be able to do this. In fact, by tomorrow morning, you're not only going to hire a virtual assistant to do your logo, but your entire website's going to be done, your marketing strategy, your letterhead, everything. And she looked at me and she goes, and I said, I'll be done by tomorrow morning. And she basically said, what idiot would be dumb enough to do all that? Oh, and by the way, it'll all be free. And she said, what idiot would be dumb enough to do that? And I looked at her and said, this idiot. And so I stayed up all night doing, again, comping out her website, creating her logo, and got done just about enough time to go to the business center and print everything out. And so when the coach said, who did your homework? I slid the paper over and her jaw dropped, and she raised her hand and said, I did. And the guy ran over and looked at everything, and his jaw dropped, said, who did this? And she goes, that guy did. So long story short, in that moment, I pick up 25 real estate clients and called my wife and said, I think we are now in the real estate niche. But it was great. I went on to travel around the country, work with that coach. But it's a fun story to tell for a couple of reasons. Number one is that, if you're just starting out, one of the things that we always believe in is just get to work for people, right? Just start showing value. Alyssa, I know you're right, very much in that same boat. So that, and then the other is just one little sacrifice of sleep that one night can totally change the trajectory of your business. So that's strangely enough kind of how Dakno got started, and especially how it got started in the real estate industry.
Oh, I love that. I've never heard your backstory, so I
Oh,
love
okay,
that.
yeah.
I was like, I know you and I are pretty similar in like how we think and go-getters and like
Yeah.
just consume. And then like your story, it was like, that sounds like something I would do. Like, just give it all to me. I'm going to test it and then let's go.
There's a really good book. It has a strange name, but it is a business book called Getting Naked. It's a parable. It's kind of a business fable, but it talks a lot about just not being afraid to ask kind of quote unquote dumb questions, and what people kind of consider the assumptive close of just getting to work and showing value. And so whether it's us in the marketing business or real estate agents, I think that if you just go out and whether it's your website or social, just provide value, then good things are going to come along.
That just made me think of like Gary Vee, like saying like, just hit record. Like, I don't care if you're not, and especially now because the algorithm is all of the algorithms are so sensitive that you could be doing your favorite thing of whether that's gardening or yoga or whatever, but you're going to start calling more your people. And guess what? You're going to be happier in the end because they're your people. They're not, let's say you're an S and some high D is coming because, you're out with your family. Not that D's don't like family. Please don't get me wrong there. I just mean that they function different than somebody who, like my mother, she's a high S. She's going to care and like, let's take our time and plan it out. And that would drive D's crazy. But to other S's, it's like, oh, okay. Like, Tammy's, my mom said Tammy's very well into, she gets me. She understands that I want to take my time and, she'll understand during the holidays when we're looking for that Christmas moment or whatever, she'll understand why we're looking for these, what may seem like weird things, but it's very important that, I know where my dishes go because those are my great grandma's and I want to pass them on to my grandchildren, right? Like just the steps of it. And, that applies to marketing in so many ways, but
yeah.
All right, so let's dive into like DakLab because I truly love what you're creating here. And every time I'm like, man, I wish DakLab did this. I mean, Brad's like, hey, Alyssa, like, guess what? I'm like, what? What's DakLab doing? What do we have now? So how did that come to be? What kind of knowledge can you drop on all these agents as far as what you are providing with DakLab?
So I think how kind of DakLab came to be, it's very much in the same thing of what we've been talking about so far, where if you just look and see where there are potential roadblocks and then how do you help solve problems. And so it seemed everybody was focusing with, of course, AI is the big topic right now. And very quickly, it got into prompting of you had to, this is the perfect prompt for this, and this is the perfect prompt for that. And I dabble around with some programming, and so I know a couple of different programming languages. And I really felt like we are trying to teach real estate agents. It's another programming language. Now it's English, but it is like a nuance of prompting is there's actually prompt engineers that will teach you how to write the perfect prompt. And so again, just kind of thinking back and said, all right, how do we make it simple on agents? And most of all, how do we give them an easy user interface? Because I do think we are in the kind of the DOS days of AI. It's the early days, but if you think about it, it's mostly text in and text out. Now it's definitely evolving, but that is kind of you go to ChatGPT, you either talk to it or write something and it gives you text. And so what we saw was an opportunity and a gap where once you got that email, then you had to figure out, well, how do I put my logo on it, or how do I know the perfect prompt to get the perfect thing out of it, whether it's editing or anything like that. And so we just thought, all right, let's create a very simple tool that just like when you open your iPhone and you have your 10 or 20 most popular apps that you use, why not create something where you have the 10 or 20 most popular AI resources that you need. And you don't have to be a prompt engineer. You simply can say, hey, I need to connect with my database. And then all the things that you teach and you know those best practices of make sure you start with a hook, make sure it has a PS, make sure there's a clear call to action. Don't worry about, don't make the agent remember to include all those things in the prompt. We can do that on the back end. And then to boot, we then wrap that in their logo, their contact information, everything. So at the end of the day, it's all about just making it very easy, because you've said this, I've said this a ton of times. I don't think AI is going to replace real estate agents. I think it's real estate agents who leverage AI are going to replace other real estate agents, right? And so I think that by making it really easy, then it should be to the point where by doing that, it gives us as marketers, as agents, as whomever, as business, people, the opportunity to spend more time in stuff like this and actually communicating and building relationships versus having to scratch your head, figure out what is the perfect prompt for what I need to do today.
Yeah. And I mean, love it from a consumer part, because I've been playing with it more as like, if I was a solo agent, how would I use this? And it's so easy. If you haven't heard it, you probably have a stack or a deck of AI is what a lot of the AI experts are saying. Like, what's your stack? What's your deck? And, it can be deep. I mean, I have DakLab, which I run to now over like going to Gemini, because like you said, on the back end, you've prompted it so well that now I can just go in and say like, turn my headshot into, a cowboy hat with blah, 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 or turn me into a mad scientist. I was creating the thumbnail for the DakLab, and I'm like, I just want to become this crazy mad scientist.
Well, and that's the neat thing, is that even though these tools are easy, they still can be like, you can get a lot out of them even advanced. So I was talking to, we've got in-house designers and copywriters and a whole team in our agency. And I do this as well. It's like, we know Photoshop, we know Illustrator, all the tools, but it's just so easy. Alyssa, our designer, said, there's a lot of times where I'll just upload something in DakLab and get it done like that versus having to slave over it in Photoshop. So I think that's the neat thing, is that while it's easy, it also creates such a nice advanced product. And then the other thing that we really tried to do is, again, I would go to these AI webinars and someone would ask, well, should you use Claude or Gemini for this, or ChatGPT? And what we basically did was we took, and there's a graphic I'll send you if we can put this up, but it's essentially that says, if AI already knows about your email marketing, your CRM, real-time market stats, a real estate law, all of those tools, well, now you don't have to rely on prompting as much, and you can. So basically, we mix that, all those different API endpoints or all those different data sources, and now you can do things like find out who the owner of a particular home is and what their cell phone number is and everything. Things that you can't do alone with ChatGPT, or you don't have to figure out, should I use Gemini for this or Claude for that? Again, I think it should be about, it shouldn't be a hurdle. It should be about getting in, getting what you need to get done, and getting out so you can build and have more time for relationships. Those really the true things that matter.
Yeah, especially as agents. I mean, you need to be belly to belly. You hire teams like Dakno or my team, or, whatever your marketing team is, or in-house. I mean, just your team. You build your team around you so that they can support, so that you can be the front line. You don't need to know everything. DakLab's pretty nice, at least, to get in and, know what it is. I mean, even as an AI consumer, what I was going to say earlier is, like, even though I know your system pulls from Gemini or Nano Banana for images, I still will go to Dakno or DakLab over Gemini, because Gemini I have to prompt over there, where I can be lazy in DakLab. So
There is something that's nice where when you need that like data dust photo or something, you don't have to, again, think about that prompt. It is just, you drag and drop or you upload an image and then one button and it's done. So, and I think the neat thing about, I kind of look at AI from two angles. I mean, one of the things like you've talked about is you say, oh, it'd be great if DakLab gave us the ability to do X or Y. And then I can send you a text a little bit like, we just built that. And so it's really kind of twofold. Number one is using AI to, these tools, but also where we use AI in business systems and even in coding, where AI allows us to iterate that much faster. And so it's really nice. A good example, recently I heard a really good tip that basically says, go out to Zillow. If you want to get more seller leads, go out to Zillow, screenshot what the Zestimate is, open it up in Photoshop or print it out or write and says like, what is your thoughts on this? And then text it or email it to the homeowner. The neat thing is you're not saying you agree or disagree with the Zestimate, but it's a good way to start the conversation. Well, it used to be where those were like 5 steps that you had to do. And so now we said, wow, that's a great feature in DakLab. And so we're going to be releasing, and I think you got a chance to kind of play around with this ahead of time, is that you literally can give it a list of addresses and it will go and do that for you. It will go out and screenshot and then put the overlay in and write the email. And so again, it's just giving you that time to create and have those better, those conversation starters. So I like it because I'm ADD and I get more ideas and want to do all this stuff. And it's like AI now gives me the ability to iterate and come up with those ideas and put them into, actual practice that much faster. So it's fun and it's amazing how the speed of innovation that's happening through AI.
So if there was any other AI tool outside of DakLab that you would recommend for agents just starting to explore, or maybe they've been playing a little bit, what other tool would you suggest that they dive into?
Yeah, so the tool that I'm going to suggest isn't necessarily a starter tool. It's maybe once you've been using ChatGPT a little bit more, you probably know what I'm going to say. AI Studio from Google. It's such an amazing thing. Essentially, what this is it's got your typical chat interface, but it also has a section for build, where literally if you need something in your business operations, or we had a builder developer who needed a back-end portal, and we were like, we can build it, but it's going to take a lot of time. So we went to AI Studio with Google and said, I want a portal that has login, that has this and this, and literally just described it, hit go, and it created the entire backend system. So not only can you chat, you can build software with it. And then the other feature that I like was called Stream, where you literally can, very much the same way you can, use ChatGPT, you can talk to it, but more importantly, you can share the screen. And so as you're doing things, you can just ask Gemini or AI Studio, hey, how do you do this or that? And it's like having the smartest person over your shoulder coaching you when you need it. So yeah, it's probably my favorite tool right now to be able to explore new capabilities and things you can do with AI.
Now that Stream feature, I did try to get in this morning, and they must have moved it, or it's like...
Yeah, they actually created a new interface. They changed. Essentially, it used to be where there were, once you clicked on things, it kind of all separated out, and they're trying to unify it. And so the Stream feature is a little bit more hidden now, but yeah, they're trying to make it kind of an all-in-one tool.
Yeah, and I was just going to bring it up here. So this is the Google AI Studio. It's brilliant. Like when you showed me this, it was one of those moments where your jaw hits the floor and you're like, wait, what? it can do what now in that ADHD brain? You know, I'm like you, like after that, then I'm like, oh my gosh, like this huge flood comes in. So
yeah.
I mean, it's true. It's truly amazing. I do love that stream feature. It's helped me get out of so many little pickles. I mean, not like they were huge, but
Yeah.
you know, instead of Googling now, it's like, hey, can you just show me exactly? I need to find this RRS feed for a podcast. Like, how do I do it?
And I would encourage agents, again, it's a little bit more advanced, but really look into the build feature as well, because if there's something, and basically what I told my team, I said, for the next 2 weeks, if there's something that you do multiple times through in the week, we have a Slack channel for this. It's called, we literally created a Slack channel called Optimize My Time. And every time someone has to pull a report or do a search, or, you know, something that is you're doing multiple times, we put it in that Slack channel, and then we go over to AI Studio and just basically say, we're having to do this multiple times a week, build me something to where I can automate it. And 9 times out of 10, literally it will create a tool that you can automate. And so you don't have to be very technical. It is wild, just again, the pace of innovation. And I do like the fact that a lot of those tools, something that, you know, obviously as AI continues to evolve, thinking through data, where, you know, who owns that data, how that data is protected. And so AI Studio also has the ability for you to put in your credit card, and it's not a monthly fee, or it's based off of usage. So the average agent will spend $2 or $3 a month, but that allows you to protect your data a little bit more. So there's definitely some things there. I think that is going to be a big topic of conversation here, and you know, as AI evolves.
Yeah, and that's already there. I would say a lot of agents are already thinking through that protection feature.
Yeah. I think that is such an important piece, that, you know, not only with AI, but I don't know if you saw this, but as we all know, Zillow purchased Follow Up Boss a year or two ago. But here recently, they are updating their terms of use and privacy policy, and still kind of going through this. But the way it looks like, and conversations with AI, and says, hey, break this down, that they have they're updating it so where essentially that if you have data in Follow Up Boss about a contact, and that same contact has been on Zillow, then it's essentially saying that Zillow has the right to pull that information and contact that person for Zillow's own marketing services. So you can very quickly see kind of where this is going. I know so many people use, you know, things like Follow Up Boss. And so I think that as AI evolves and where technology evolves, that it's going to be key that an agent really owns their brand, their data, and know how that data is being, you know, shared or used. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how all that plays out.
I just keep referring back to right now we're in the Wild West of the AI phase. Like it truly is the Wild West out there. So have fun with it now, because we all know how this goes, right? Same with the internet. Like then restrictions started getting on it. Yeah. But I mean, it's possibilities are endless right now. So let's end with 2 things. My first end question is, if there was one tip or tool or trick that you could give an agent right now that they could do this week to just get their feet wet, what would you recommend?
Yeah, so I would go back to see how you can optimize your time and compress time. And so AI, because it's new, if you're not careful, an agent can find themselves doing things that's not their highest and best use. I sometimes run into that where my highest and best use is running my business and everything, but AI now gives me the ability to get in the weeds. And so sometimes I can get too deep in the weeds. Sometimes agents can get so deep in the weeds where they want to do things themselves. And so I would say really look at, going through, do that 2-week sprint where you are really focusing on what are the things that I have to do often, and then leverage AI to, help you with those things versus trying to what I call FSBO your marketing, where, a lot of times where AI does give this ability for agents to be able to do things, if you're not careful, it can actually backfire and it takes you more time, right? So being able to leverage smart people like yourself, or if it makes sense for Dakno, and I think there's those good partnerships are going to be pretty crucial. So it's almost, I know it's a little bit of a different tip. It's the antithesis of what most people think of, like AI, just go in and do everything. Use AI in a smart manner to optimize your business versus getting caught up in the weeds. And like I said, I'm preaching to myself also, because I know that a lot of times I want to get, find all the new stuff and do those things.
Yeah. And I always tell them too, and it plays off of what you're doing, is like, just open up a new chat, do the voice feature to where you can talk with your AI and give it like a command word. Like, I'm just going to tell you, like, basically brain dump all my systems, what I want to do here, my market, all of this, like, so it gets to know you, and then give it like a keyword, like, don't say anything until I say done. Or if you've named it, like, okay, Juniper's mine. Okay, Juniper, what's your thoughts? But if you give that in the beginning, so while you think and you pause, it doesn't try to jump in, because I've watched agents, like, as I've been helping them get used to it, once it starts talking, they stop, and it's like, you can talk over it. It's okay. Yeah. But if you give that, phrase in the beginning, then it stops. But now you are starting to train it, and then it can analyze and say, hey, I think you're doing a great job, blah, blah, blah. Like, it'll give you some encouragement and words of encouragement, and then say, here's your action steps. Here's what I would do if I were you. And that's kind of the fun thing. It's just it's a super brain that you get to talk to. And
there you go. And if you use ChatGPT, one of the things that I use a lot, kind of thinking about a practical tip, do you use projects? I love projects within or maybe they're called, some call them folders. I think ChatGPT calls them projects. And so I love that because it holds context a lot better. And so to your point, I'll open up a project. I've got a project for DakLab, a project for, business operations and everything. And so the good thing about that is, even though I have multiple chats, ChatGPT it kind of pulls all that together and knows that I'm talking about a particular topic. Because I found myself going in and having to give a lot of backstory to that. And so with projects, I can just pick the appropriate folder or project and then just jump into to that. So I think between the don't reply until I give the keyword and a project, then you can agents can really optimize their business operations with that.
Yeah, and those of you who are even maybe AI savvy and you're getting good ideas, but maybe you've already started it and you already have your projects, the other thing I would challenge you to do is schedule it for every morning at 7 a.m. Remind me to get into this, because when it's something new, we do need that reminder. And the scheduling feature within ChatGPT, I mean, I love that feature because my ADHD brain goes everywhere. Like, I have one in the morning and I just do a brain dump now. Like, I just here's everything that's on my mind, from clients to, what I'm wanting to create within my business to, we just got back from a trip and I'm heading for another trip. Like, I need these things, and it helps my brain go quiet after I just brain dump everything in there.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah. I use that a lot for just industry news as well, market activity. So I have a weekly where it gives me an overview of how the mortgage rates are doing and kind of top industry news. So yeah, it's really good because it helps you be intentional about getting in and looking through and doing a lot of the research for you. So
yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate this so much. Thank you so much for being on. If there was anything that you could wrap this up and I say put it in a little bow, what would you like to end this with?
Yeah, so we talked about a lot, and AI there's a lot to it. And so the biggest thing is just start using it and think of AI first, not about it works for listing descriptions or it works for generating content or a blog post. AI can be leveraged so much more beyond that. And that's what we tried to kind of open ideas with DakLab, is to get that going. And so again, if there's something that I can leave people with, is take the next 2 weeks and again, do two things. Number one is, if you do something multiple times, talk to AI and say, how do I optimize this? And two is, for the next 2 weeks, kind of everything you do, just even if you don't actually use AI, say, can AI help me with this? And I think it will open your mind and just, your eyes to just how much it can help in the day-to-day and make your life a heck of a lot easier. So I think that's the thing, and you're not going to break it. I think, don't be intimidated. Just start using it. You'll be amazed at all the resources that you'll find very quickly within it.
Love that. Okay, so I end with a fun thing. So my last guest was on, and this was his question to you.
Okay.
So if you're in a car traveling the speed of light and you turn on your headlights, what do you see?
The pressure's on, because my son is an absolute geek when it comes to time and special relativity and all of this. And so I'm going to answer, and this is wrong, but he told me that the speed of light is relative to the observer. And so let's see, if I'm traveling the speed of time and turn on my light, I think I'm going to see whatever the thing ahead of me is, because the speed of light, wow, I'm just kind of really bending my brain here. Yeah, the speed of light is relative to the observer. So I think you're going to see what you would normally see even if you were traveling at 10 miles an hour.
So you would see all the agents right now. You'd see your market. You'd see that house that you've just listed, or, your buyers that are, well, maybe driving you a little crazy. They might be in front of your head. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he wrote that question, and I was like, my brain did the same thing I'm like, oh, well, what would I see? Because I just got the Star Wars,
Yes, exactly. It's funny because literally we were having a couple of nights ago, you could tell I'm a geek, and I'm apparently raising geeky kids, because we literally were talking about the speed of light and how that all works a couple of nights ago. So that's an interesting question and a little bit timely. So
yeah.
So I guess it's all relative, right?
Just like everything, right?
There you go.
Marketing, AI, it's all relative.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Brad. I really appreciate this. I'm sure as DakLab progresses, I'll probably ask you to be on more and maybe give them in-depth demo maybe next time of what the new features are and how agents can use them.
Oh, and we've got a lot where we've got our app coming out here shortly. So we've got a dedicated app and a lot of new tools to continue to push out. So I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more.
I can't wait. Thank you again, Brad. And For everybody else, if you got something out of this or you want your team to look into DakLab for you, share this video with you. We'll put all the good information below, how to contact Brad if we need that. So thank you again. Hit subscribe, like, follow, all the fun things that, we all love and cherish as marketers. So thank you.
Thank you.